What's up guys, welcome to a new video. Now today I'm gonna show you one way of creating like a focus mode. Now this is done all via materials. There is no post-processing, nothing. So it's a real easy way of doing it. And this is the result. This is a standard third person project. Now if I press the key, it does that. It slowly makes the highlights appear. Now today I'm going to show you how to create the materials and how to make it turn on and off so it's not constantly on. Now first I just need to delete everything and start from scratch. So I'll see you guys when I've done that. Right, now we've cleared everything. I've got all the files required to make this system. So now let's get started into it. Now first thing I'm going to create is a parameter that will be used later on in the material and in the player blueprint, as this will help the system turn on and off the focus. So let's do that first. First we go to right click, you go to materials, and then you find it material parameter collection. This is what you want. Now let's do MP and call it focus. Now what you want to do is make a scalar parameter, no, not vector, scalar, and then if you want to call it a name, let's go focus, and our default value we'll leave as 0, so it would automatically be off. And now we need a way to have the inputs, a way to have the player do an input and he'll actually do it. What we want to do is go to actions in the input folder of the third person, and then create an input action. I'm going to label it under focus. Now of course you can, you don't have to use input mapping, no, the input action system, that's already like this. You can do a designated key, but I find it's easier as it can be used with controllers as well. So first we find the focus in the input mapping context. I'm C default. If you've got the third person thing, third person project open, and now you give it a key. I'm going to set it to F. So again, it's mapped to the key bindings. And now if you open your third person blueprint, which should be here, blueprints, third person, this is what you should have. This is if you started the project on your own. This is the only thing you should have if you started it. And now if, let's go I focus, we've got to find that. Right, search for the blueprint, I focus, this is what you want. Now there are a few ways of turning on and off something. There's a flip-flop, and then there is a branch. Now flip-flop will do fine, you could probably do it perfectly fine, but I prefer more control over my blueprints and ways of changing stuff. So I'm going to use a branch. Now for this, I'm going to create a variable, just drag that out, create a boolean variable by promote variable and call it focus. So there you go. Now when focus is true, I want it to turn off. So for this, we're going to drag out set focus to false, and then when it's turned off, I want it set to true. And there you go. And then when you do that, you go, now of course you can do parameter, I need to meter collection, is that it? Oh, I need to remember the name of it, it's horrible. I need to remember the name of it. Oh yeah, that's it. Set scalar parameter value. Now let's do this. Now this will control the material. Now you could do it like this. NPC focus, parameter name, focus, So for now, let's do it like this. Let's do it like this for demonstration purposes. This will be improved, but let's do it like this first. Now, first thing I want to do is create the material. So go in here, create a folder, this folder, and call it focus. And then, well, unless you want to leave it in the content folder, that's fine as well. Create a material. I'm going to call it focus, base focus, and open it. And then select this and change the blend mode to translucent, because we want the emissive and the opacity. Now let's get started with this. Now, easy way of doing this is vector 3, constant vector 3. We're going to promote this to parameter, so then it can be changed later on. We're going to call this color, and then let's do that, and then we'll change the color to blue, for example, and then we want the parameter custom collection. It's like custom. I think it's collection parameter. There you go. And then we look for MP focus, and then give the focus. And now if we click it, put in opacity, there you go. It's off. It actually does work. That's the thing. So for the purposes of this, let's demonstrate it. Now, I've got these that I've just placed in. These are just the mesh of the player model. Now if you go in the details tab, just look for the overlay material, which is this. Just literally do this, overlay material in the tab, and then look for the underscore base focus. There you go. So now it's on this one. So if I play it, there you go. The focus is turned on. Now you could leave it if that's all you want. If that's all you want, you can leave it. But let's make it more interesting. Let's make it instead of a whole highlight, let's make it an outline. So what you want to do is get a Fresnel node. Now let's unplug this quickly. Let's unplug that, just so then it can be displayed. That is it. That is what it will look like. Now, there's a way of doing this. So the experiment you would have as a whole number. Yeah, that I'm not entirely sure what it does exactly. Alright, it's a thickness, I believe. The thickness of the outline. I think, I don't know. I don't know what it does, I just know the end result. And of course you would have this as a small value. Let's just experiment with this, 'cause I'm not 100%. I know what stuff does, I don't know the exact process in terms of materials. But yeah, you would have this as a small value, and as like a big value, like in terms of whole number, and then there you go. You plug it in, there you go. But if you noticed, I can't turn this on and off now. So if you go here, see, no matter if I click the fin, it doesn't turn on and off. Now to solve that, I'm going to do something else. We're going to get an interpolate, linear interpolate node, plug this in to the B, this is when it's on, and then the alpha, we're going to plug in the focus. And then we plug that into opacity. So when it's off, it will have the opacity of this. And then when it's on, it would show what it did earlier. And then click into opacity, and then there you go. This is it. This is the highlight done. So if I go here, there you go. Now, there's something else noticed. I didn't get exact. Let's see. I want to see what this does exactly. Yeah, that's what I was aiming for. So if you noticed earlier, if I plugged that in, it mostly covered the whole thing, but I just want the outline. So this is what you would do. Now, it's not that glowy, it's not that bright, that outline. So what I would do is increase it by a multiplier node. This would give it more of a pop to it, to the look. So it's more obvious and not just a really thin line. And there you go. Now, we've got that, but let's make it smoother. We're going to make it smoother. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a timeline. And that is an easy way of making this smoother. You can use an interp node, but you would have to constantly call it. But for this case, let's use a timeline. So let's do timeline, let's call it focus, and then we'll add a track. We'll do a length of 0.5 seconds. For this demonstration, you can make it longer if you really want to. And then we'll do time 0, value 0. Oh, don't forget to name the you don't have to name it if you don't want to. And then we'll do it 0.5 time on the new key value and have it as value 1. This is very simple. You can of course adjust it to make it more of a curve instead of a straight line, but for my purpose, this is what I'm going to do. Now let's unplug one of these, delete the other, and now when it's turned off, we want to go from 1 to 0. So in my case, I would go reverse from end, and I turn it on, and want it to go from 0 to 1. So go play from start. And then on update, you drag out and connect to the set scalar parameter. And then you'll drag out this value, which would be 0. It'll be the numbers between 0 and 1 in the timeline. And then we plug that in there. Now in theory, if everything I've done correctly, there you go. It slowly goes on and off. It's more smoother. Now, say you want multiple. Say you want multiple materials. Well, that's easy. Just create a material instance, right click it, right click a material, create material instance, and then we'll do like focus blue. And then we'll create a red one as well. We'll do focus red. So there you go. And then let's open focus blue. Now, of course, parameter is already there. So let's just do a dark, proper blue. There you go. And then we'll open the focus red. And then this parameter, this is why I said make a parameter in the base material, so you can control it. Let's do, it's not really red, is it? Ah, that'll do. It's gonna have to do. And then there you go. And then you go into overlay materials of the meshes once again, and then you look for the instances you just created. We'll do focus blue on this one, and then on this one we'll do focus red. There you go. Now, if I click, oh, hello, that's new. Oh, that is new. I just noticed that sign. I think I clicked it, put it in wrong. Have I? No, put it in right. Interesting. Okay, I just came back. This is literally me 5 seconds after ending the previous recording. The reason why it done that is because I forgot the default value. The default value of the focus was set to true. It's meant to stay as false. This stays at false. So previously it was like that. But no, you keep it as false and it won't do the flicker on like it did previously. Interesting. But yeah, that is the creation of it. 40 minutes for this. It's too long. But yeah, that is the focus material. This has no post-processing, this is entirely based on materials. And yeah, that is it for this video. Have fun.